There we go.
How you doing today, brother?
Terrible.
You be all right. We gonna shake this off. We go, what's up with you, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. You know what I mean? It's a good day today. It's good to see my people, man. I'm definitely happy to see my people today on this Super Bowl Sunday. You know, who you got today? Who you got there in the bowl?
I think the Eagles are gonna win.
Me too, man. I went ahead and, you know what I mean, slid a couple dollars, across that way. I'm hoping that they pull this one off. We're gonna find out. What's up, cuz?
What's the deal?
Ain't too much. We live right now, man. You know, we getting ready for this big Super Bowl Sunday. Who you got in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I got the Eagles too, man. You see, I'm relaxing, man. I'm laid up.
You know what I mean? Hey, D-Mac over here, I think he might be under the weather. Somebody says he's been under the weather for about a few days this week.
Now. Yeah, a couple days, bro. It's been bad. I can't get warm enough, and then when I do, it gets too warm. I woke up in some sweat this morning. I'm tired.
You're gonna be all right, man. You go ahead and you lay back, man. Let me handle this today because I got two strong supporters of this administration on board here, and I've been looking forward to this conversation for a couple weeks now.
He'll be out there. He's at the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yo, Mac, man, you gotta keep yourself hydrated, man. Tylenol.
Yeah. Check it out. My mom, I helped. She gave me some Arrowhead water. I said, "You trying to kill me, ain't you?" I'm gonna drink it though, but shit.
Go get that Pedialyte, man. That Pedialyte works wonders. About 2 weeks ago, man, I had the flu.
Yeah, that Pedialyte's a lifesaver. When I had COVID, man, I drank that stuff. It brings you right back to life.
Yeah, for sure. Cause I'm over here with the upper respiratory. You see, I got the humidifier blowing. I'm sitting up under the humidifier, man.
What's up, my?
What's going on?
We got our resident super. I'm a liberal. She's a super liberal. So that's why I love it. You know what I mean? Because we got a super liberal in here. You know what I mean? I like to call myself a progressive, but I am a liberal as well. You know what I mean? So welcome to the Sunday Town Hall. You know, this is Wesley.
My name is D-Mac Uno.
Chad.
My name is Dante, man, aka the Hilltop Trucker.
And we also got my on board, and today we want to let's start this off with how do y'all feel that this first, I would say, what has been about 21 days, 20 something days, about this administration, almost about 17, 18, 20 days of this administration. How do y'all feel?
I'm gonna let them talk first.
Yeah, how do y'all feel this has been going? Has it played out the way you guys has expected it to play out?
Yeah, they ain't messing around. They're getting stuff done.
Okay.
I mean, it's 21 days.
Okay, that's not a compliment.
We're talking about a.
Go ahead.
Let him cook. All I gotta say is let him cook.
Okay. So what do y'all feel about? How do y'all feel about the?
How do y'all feel about them trying to get into the Treasury to get everybody's information?
No, David, correction. How do they feel about him going into the Treasury and getting their information? You can't say that they tried to. They literally did. 6 dudes went into the Treasury with thumb drives and downloaded all our information. Bank information, social security numbers, incoming, outgoing, taxes, everything.
Who did that?
The question.
Who did that?
Mr. Elon Musk and the 6 people that he sent in there. He locked the employees out. And they went in and got all y'all information and my information. I'm already on a lawsuit with Seattle against Elon Musk right now, as we speak, because there's no reason why he should have my bank information. There's no reason why he should have my social security number, and I should have his social security number and his bank information.
Hey, they also did the same thing at the Department of Education. You know what I mean? They locked everybody out. Let
me ask y'all this: how many of you guys have iPhones in the chat?
No
iPhones.
I got iPhone.
Okay. Androids.
Yeah, I got an Android.
Okay, so how many of you guys have your banking app on your phone?
Of course.
Okay, so what about Apple Pay?
This is not going. This is not going to fly. It's a choice. It's a choice, brother. Go ahead, though.
I'm just saying because let's not pinpoint. Y'all talking
That's
about
not
Elon?
the same.
Hold
That's
on,
not the same.
Can
What
I
is
finish?
no?
Yeah, hold
Because
on. Let him
what is
finish. Let him
Elon
finish.
Musk?
have
Let him
to
finish.
finish,
Let him
man.
finish.
I have to finish.
What his job
Let,
position
let,
is
let him,
I have to
federally, then
finish,
you can
though.
have your opinion.
let him
I have
No,
finish.
you gotta
I
let
have
him
to
finish.
finish.
You gotta let him finish.
The situation is you have an iPhone that you use Apple Pay, and Miss My, you're a woman, so I know you use Apple Pay. So you telling me that you guys are up in an uproar because somebody went into the treasury and got your information when you willingly give your information every day?
Willingly, that's different. That's a difference of a
It
thing
ain't
right
no
there.
difference,
Yeah,
man.
it's very much different.
If
If
they
if you
wanted
if I
our
say yes,
information, they been getting it.
listen. So you're telling me if a person were to come in your house and take something out your house without asking you or you saying they can have it, you would be just as mad as another person walking into your house and you say, "Hey man, go grab that over there and you can have that." You would be so those are the same thing. That's like you know what I mean. Me giving you something versus somebody robbing you. Pretty much, but we're not in an uproar. What we're looking at is Elon Musk is not an elected official. This dude already has a deal with Visa and X right now, where they're doing some type of credit card type of things already. This dude is also got is tied up with the Chinese government, man. Like we don't understand. Like we think Elon Musk is this big wealthy man, but 35% of his wealth is in government contracts from us. He would not have anything if it was not for the American people. When we stopped giving him money, he went to China.
So let me ask you this: just because Elon Musk financed a portion of Trump's candidacy, you guys you go off of it like he's the president. Donald Trump ain't doing this.
Yeah, no, but he's giving him access to do it. If he's not. None of us elected. I could see if Elon had to go through a confirmation process to be able to say, okay, cool, you are the head of the Treasury, or you're going to be head of this department or that department, right? He didn't go through any of those confirmation processes. This is backdoor. That's what everyone's concerned about. This is a private citizen who is the wealthiest man in the world. Who pretty much he got Starlink. What is that called? You know what I mean? SpaceX.
He's not the wealthiest.
Yes, he is. He's the wealthiest on paper. He's the wealthiest man in the world.
Jeff
No, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world to the point where he's almost a trillionaire. No one has touched $1 trillion in their lifetime.
No, they said Elon Musk. They said between Elon, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg, all three of them combined is worth $1 trillion.
Yeah, he's worth like $400 and something billion. But
yeah,
the point of
they said that he's also, because after the election, he made $170 billion richer. So technically, he's almost a trillionaire.
Definitely. And so, I mean,
and he's a private citizen on top of it. He's just like a regular person, just like me and you. Yes, he has a lot of money, but he does not have the power to literally go into the Department of Treasury or the VA, because he already stopped my Medicaid. My daughter doesn't even have medical insurance right now because he already turned it off.
So, I mean,
but he doesn't have the power. He's a private citizen. That's like saying, like, if you went to the Department of Treasury and you locked it up and you went in there with thumb drives, that you would not go to jail. That's technically what Elon Musk did.
Okay. So how do you guys feel about, I know we understand that Elon is not the president. We get it. And we're not going to attack you like he is the president. He's not. But he's been given a lot of power. A lot of power. So, I mean, I know you can't explain it because you're not Trump. You didn't appoint Elon as anything. You didn't even vote for him. I remember you told me at one point in time that you feel like Elon will probably be pushed out before the end of this year. So I know we have some agreements on that. You know what I mean? So this is not an attack on you guys, because we understand you voted for Donald Trump, but Donald Trump voted to put in this man in a particular place of power that he has a lot of authority right now. He just does. You know, I know that we're saying everyone's saying that he's finding a lot of money in the whole in the USAID, right? Everybody's like USAID, he's finding all this corruption, but this is less than 1% of the United States total spending is spent in USAID. Less than 1%. 38 out of the $41 billion is going towards countries with poor people. You know what I mean? Like it's really like a good thing that we do this, because it really, like, in my personal opinion, it promotes goodwill around the world. Like I was telling somebody, when I was down in Brazil, I'm talking to people and they're telling me about a show called Everybody Hates Chris. I know you guys probably heard of that show. Everybody Hates Chris. It's like this girl's telling me about. I'm like, how you know Everybody Hates Chris? It's because these are the shows they watch in order to like almost become like have a sense of like camaraderie or understanding of what American culture is. I know that's not American culture, but it's teaching them to kind of like Sesame Street to teach a kid about 1, 2, 3s and ABCs and how to like get along in certain situations. It's teaching them American culture and how to kind of like embrace Americans and not just see us as an overbearing superpower. You get what I'm saying? So some of these things that when they're talking about these books that they're having in these places, or they're doing these television shows in these other places, that's what some of this is promoting like understanding of American culture. All the other things where it's like the LGBTQ things, I don't know about that, and I can't explain that. I think some cultures just have a harder time accepting that, and some cultures are very, very like negative towards that, are killing people for being what they are. You know what I mean?
A lot of that though, man. They're doing a lot of that.
But in a lot of cultures, they kill people for that. You know what I mean? I don't have to agree with it because I don't live there, because it ain't my place to say I have to agree with everything that goes on around the world. But understanding that I don't think it should be that way. I don't think as a person should get killed based off their orientation. You know what I mean? I don't believe that. Like, you should kill that man.
Anybody voted for it. You know, nobody wants to spend all our money on that.
But all of our money is like $10 million that you're spending on these certain topics around the world, where you're seeing oppression to people who are, it's like almost spend. I know it's not the same thing, so I don't want to compare the two, which race and sexual orientation. They're totally different things, but it's like they're almost trying to say, don't kill these people based off of this. It's kind of to me, it's almost ignorant to do something like that, to kill somebody because of how they feel. I know all of us have grown up or met or know somebody who has a different orientation when it comes to their sexuality. Would you want them to be from somewhere else and have to be killed or persecuted for that? Because I mean, especially if they're not pushing it on kids, or they're not doing nothing weird. What am I? You know what I mean? And I don't want to compare the two things, because that's not the same thing either. But
are we talking about trans? My bad, I had to.
Or just anybody who's just LGBT.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to see.
The whole thing is they just start pushing it on kids, and like
That's
there's
true.
nothing, there's
That's
nobody.
true.
I mean, everybody saw it. They were going to libraries trying to drag people, reading story times. They're trying to bring them into the elementary schools and teach them. They're putting it in movies, and so they're stepping over their bounds. Like they shouldn't have done any of that.
Our tax money's paying for it.
Yeah, they if they wouldn't have done that, they would have been fine. But they're like, oh no, we have to make the kids aware. No, the children didn't need to be aware of what you're doing. Because I mean, at the end of the day, if you're being gay is it's not a lifestyle, it's a sexual orientation. The only way somebody knows that you're gay is if they see you kiss somebody else, you do a sexual act, or you tell them. Honestly, that's what it is.
But let me say this though. I understand your viewpoint, because my viewpoint on the whole thing. You know what I mean? I'm not for that in sports and all that kind of stuff. However, I mean, to me, the way that our culture has been for so long towards people who are like LGBTQ or gay or whatever, we pushed so hard against that, and we made people get to the point to where they were committing suicide, killing themselves, not able to speak up for themselves. It almost helps to be able to talk about that and put that into a situation to where people can feel a little bit more open about who they are. I don't want you to have to go feel messed up about who you are because based off of you think I hate you. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal thing. I'm not trying to put anybody here in a weird position to have to talk about something like, you know what I mean? But that's just how I feel about it. I don't care what you do. That's your life. But I'm not going to call you by any other name than what I feel. I mean, than what it is. I'm not going to do any of those. But that's your life. That's your choices in life. It's not up to me to tell you what choices you can and can't make. You know what I mean? And I think we all agree with that. And I think that, that floats over into my stance on other things like women's rights, everything. That's your kind of, we live in America. It's supposed to be the land of the free, period. It's supposed to be free
you can
to
afford
do
it.
You're supposed to be, that's just how I feel about that. But
yeah, but I'm like this, man. It's like, they should have left the kids alone. When you push your sexual orientation lifestyle on children, that's the only way you can actually make new gay people. Because most of the people that are gay, they've been molested. If something happens, I'm dead ass serious.
Which is not true, David. That's not
Okay.
true, because
Okay.
I own a homeless shelter for women and children, and I had
I'm
an
not
8-year-old trans kid.
this guy.
I had an 8-year-old trans kid that I literally had to sit down and talk to every day because she was being bullied in school.
Well, I mean,
She
she's
never
8 years
changed
old.
her
She
name or
shouldn't-
anything.
She shouldn't
She
even been
didn't
trans in
change
the
her
first
name.
place. She's 8 years old.
She's known she's not supposed to be a boy since she was 2. You can't tell people what they are. Yes, you can.
When your kid
They
walks up and they be like,
already
"Hey,
know.
I think I'm a girl." You look him in the face and be like, "No,
I grew
you're
up
a
around
boy."
trans, a whole bunch of trans. And if you see my auntie Tony, you would have never known that she was a man. You would have never known she was a man.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
an
she's a trans
8-year-old,
now.
think about it, if an 8-year-old goes out into the world and they have a gun and they shoot somebody, right? The 8-year-old can't be charged with the crime. because they're not old enough to know what they're exactly doing. But somehow an 8-year-old can know, hey, you know what? I wasn't supposed to be born a boy. I should have been a girl, and I don't know what this thing is hanging in front of me. That don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
It's not that she's saying that she doesn't know that what is between her legs isn't supposed to be there. It's just the feeling of like literally feeling. It's like you walking around, you know you're a guy, so you feel like a guy, right?
Yeah.
It's a little boy who feels that he should not be a little boy.
You know what's crazy? It's like for me,
we
call those psychopaths.
And I wasn't in a big bougie until I got a hold of one. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is for me.
He looks like a girl. He literally walks around literally like a girl all day. If you saw the little boy out in public, you would have never known it was a boy.
No, most of the moms do that to their kids.
Hey, my
he came from foster care. His mama just got him back.
My name's Dante, right? And if I grew up around you and you know me for being Dante, and I was just walking around telling you my name's Richard now, that's called schizophrenia. Okay, then I'm gonna call you by Richard. They call that schizophrenia.
No, they do not. They do not.
So if I said I feel like I'm
It has nothing to do with changing your name.
If I went to the doctor,
if you read
if I went to the doctor and told the doctor, if I went to the doctor and told the doctor that I felt like I'm Richard, what are they going to diagnose me with?
They just gonna say that you feel like your name should be Richard. That's it. They're not.
Okay. What about the little girl that was on Dr. Phil, and she was black as shit? I mean, there's like Wesley Black, and then there's like darker than that.
You hear this guy over here talk crazy, reckless. That's crazy. My black is beautiful though, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Respect to Wesley. Hey, respect to Wesley.
You had to get it in early.
He has the best ID card I ever seen in my life. It's just 2 stars and a blue crescent. That's all you see.
Hey. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. Let me finish. This little girl, she was on Dr. Phil. She was like 12 years old, black as shit, and she's like, "Nope, I'm white. I believe I'm white. I live around white people. I'm white. Don't believe." You know what I'm saying? Now she kept going on. I can look the video up. Now, does that make her crazy?
I seen the video. I've seen it.
Now, is she crazy or can she believe that?
She can believe it all she wants to, but she's going to feel the wrath of it when she goes out into the public. Like she can feel that she's a white girl. She could say she's a white girl, right? Like she could say it until she's blue in the face. But when she goes out into public, because you're not walking around with "I'm white" on my forehead, right? They're gonna see her as a black girl.
So it's the same thing. If you see
what's her name? What's her name?
Strong ass calves.
No. What was that white lady that literally changed her ID and everything to be in black?
Hey,
because she adopted some black children.
Rachel Doctor, and the black folks, we owe her an apology.
You know what, man? Hey, listen, I'm about to quit listening to him, man.
The thing about it is, with that girl, with the white lady who claimed to be black.
But what did she do when she pretended to be black? She joined the NAACP, and she tried to work towards the advancement of colored people. That's exactly what she did. So yeah, cool, you fake to be a Negro, but at least she wasn't out here calling everybody the N-word and saying all the coolest slang she can pick up. You know what I'm saying, to be bottom feeder. She was like, no, I want to see black excellence and greatness. So I mean, at first everyone was bad, but I don't fault her.
No, that wasn't her real reason of doing it. It was because she adopted some damn kids.
Hey,
she adopted some damn kids that were black. That's it.
I got a question. But
the only part that we were mad about is that we weren't mad that she was claiming black. The only part that we were mad about is that she doesn't have to feel the wrath that regular black people have to feel.
She feels it
now.
She
has never been discriminated against. She hasn't been turned away because of her skin color. She hasn't been turned away from anything because of her skin color. She hasn't felt that we really went through. Why do you think Kendrick Lamar and Drake are beefing? It's the same thing. It's the culture. She has never lived in the culture. So you can't say, oh, because I feel like I'm a black girl because I literally adopted some black kids, I'm going to help the black people out, but they shouldn't be mad at me. She could go into the treasury with thumb drives and download some goddamn information and nothing will happen to her because of her skin color. They're not going to look at her ID and say that she's claiming that she's black.
Let me ask you, where did this information come from that said Elon Musk went into the treasury?
It's a fact that
what's the source?
I mean, I've seen it on several. They've had
What's the
They
okay?
have it on all
So
the news stations. He's
so
been into the Treasury, the VA. He closed down
And they had to stop him. A
USAID.
judge had
He
to
closed and blocked the
a ju-
Department of Education.
a judge
He's
had
literally
to
doing it.
a judge had to put an injunction against him from continuing to go in there. So it's an
what about
injunction against
what about the $10 billion lawsuit
which one?
on CBS
About me.
about the 60-minute interview with Kamala? You see how they leaked the video?
Yes,
Yeah,
and guess what they
put
did?
the whole thing
They
out.
linked the unedited video because
You
Donald
see how
Trump
they
said
leaked
that
it?
the
You see
link,
that? Hey,
he said the
D-Mac, look it
unedited
up,
video
D-Mac.
would have made
I
her
want
look
you to
worse.
play. I want D-Mac, look it up, and I want you to play the the unedited version of Kamala Harris when they asked her why she wanted to be the president of the United States. And this
Why
is
she
the
wanted to
person
be
y'all
president?
voted for.
Hold on, I got this one though. I need y'all to see this.
This is the person y'all voted for. This is who y'all wanted to be y'all commander in chief.
I mean, we kind of see who y'all want as the commander in chief of
And I
what he's
hope
got
y'all
going
have
on.
y'all guns ready.
Wait a second.
Oh, I don't see
let's
this
not. Hey,
video.
No, not that,
Oh,
let's not go back through this again.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Let's
pull
move
up
on from
Kamala.
let's move on from this right here. We've already, you know what I'm saying?
Big leg black dogs.
Feel me?
I was not anything
But,
like other black
you see
people.
that
They
crazy?
were all hood rats.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were all
But let's keep pushing. But anyway,
Pull up the footage of Kamala, the leaked footage from CBS. Donald Trump got a $10 billion lawsuit on CBS. They leaked the footage. They're going to lose this lawsuit.
I mean, so let's get down to the nitty gritty of things. So do
let me
y'all?
ask you guys, let me ask you guys this. How do you feel about them coming in? And you guys are the Republican side. How do you feel about them coming in and dismantling the federal government? How do you feel like? I mean, they're firing all the federal
They didn't
federal
fire
employees.
nobody. They told them they can quit. They told them they can leave. They didn't
That-
fire
it's,
them.
it's illegal for them to even do that, though. You know that, right? That's,
They
they don't.
didn't have
What they
to
said
quit.
was no. What they said was they offered them like an 8-month buyout
Severance
where they
package,
pay them
yeah.
a package where they'll pay you for this long, and they don't even have this in the federal budget to be able to do it. It's illegal what they're doing. It's not
No,
even a factual
yeah.
thing
The
that they
people
can
that
even
took
do
it.
this. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
my
saying?
bad.
So yeah,
What's
and
illegal?
But the
for them
people,
to
hold on, the people that took it, they was like, "Hey, we'll take the buyout," and they're like, "No one ever returned our email."
Oh,
They was like,
because,
"Ha
because it's
but what's
illegal.
illegal
Because,
though?
but because they don't have the money in the government. Okay, the government runs by a budget. We all know this. They run by a budget. It's not. There's no money allocated in the budget for them to be able to say, "I'm going to offer you this without you working and
Where's
go and
the
take
law
this
that
buyout."
says that? Where's the law
It's-
that says that?
The Democratic,
Did you
the
take
Democratic
civics,
Congress
Tucker?
people.
Did you take civics? Let me ask this question. Did you take civics?
Where's the law that says
No.
that?
Hey,
No.
let's
Did you take
let's be
civics?
let's be.
Did
Let's
you
be-
take
let's be
civics?
civil.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just asking you a question. Where's the
No.
law?
I'm getting there. But I'm asking, did you take civics?
You can't answer a
Ever in your
question with a
lifetime?
question.
No, yes, you can. I'm asking,
No,
did you
you
ever
can't.
take civics?
So
Yes,
say
you
I
can.
didn't take civics. Say I didn't take
No,
civics. What
yeah,
is?
I don't get your
give me
point.
the breakdown.
If you
of it.
didn't take civics, how it works is Donald Trump is just an executive. Only thing that he could do is look over bills and say yes or no. The executive orders is like a wish list, right? That's all he could do. He can make a wish list with the executive orders of what he wants to do and what he wants done. The Congress, which is legislative, and Senate, which is also legislative, they're the ones that do the laws and the bills. They hold the purse of the United States. They delegate how much money goes to each program for the year. That's their job. That has nothing to do with Donald Trump. So Donald Trump can't say, well, I want to take $2 billion from the VA, because guess what? Senate and Congress have to pass it first.
And I mean, and how,
Well,
So
actually,
if
I mean,
there's
let them go ahead. Let them go ahead and
allegations-
let them go ahead and answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do y'all? This is I mean, it's y'all administration in office, so that's why the questions are going to be pushed towards y'all. Like, how do you feel about
but
this?
my thing is here's my thing, and I've stood on this ever since the election. I voted for Donald Trump. Am I upset with my decision? Excuse my language. Hell no. But here's the thing. This is what I don't like. I don't consider
Standing
myself
on
a
business.
Republican. I'm standing on business. Listen. I don't got no. I wouldn't declare myself a Republican. You know, I'm an incumbent. I voted
Independent.
Democrat my whole life. My thing is this, and y'all, the fact that we started off the conversation He's only been in office 21 days. Y'all, the rhetoric that you guys are putting out there is hatred over a person because of the way he is and the way he thinks. Like, it ain't, you talk about the administration. Let's talk about the Biden administration and all the messed up things that they did, bro.
I mean, but the Biden administration is no longer in power. We did talk about that when Biden was in office.
Listen.
Now, this is what happens when you get in. I mean, you know that this is what happens when you got hold power, just like anywhere you hold it at, whether it's in the White House or in the streets. When you the one with the crown on your head, everybody's going to be talking about what you're doing. That's why it was so easy for Trump to attack Biden, because he was the one in power. Well, I mean, yeah, of course, that's what you do to a president outgoing. Or I mean, just like when Obama attacked George W. Bush, he attacked him. He talked about Bush's policy because that's what was going out of office. That's what you do.
Let me tell you something.
It's not a negative thing. It's just politics.
But from this moment forward, y'all remember the movie All About the Benjamins? As long as Donald Trump is in office, this country is going to be ran like a business. It's all about the Benjamins. What did they say?
Okay, and guess what? Guess what's coming out of your pocket?
Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah.
So instead of calling him President Trump, we're gonna call him 4547. 4547.
But the point of it is, though, is that business going to benefit the American people, or is it just going to benefit Donald Trump? Look at what he's going to do over in Gaza. Now he wants to steal the land in Gaza and build it up. He's going to give it to do the contracts over there, right?
At least he's honest about it. The Biden administration.
And guess what money he's using to do Gaza?
Thank you,
Guess what money he's using to do Gaza?
What money is
what
it?
money he's
American taxpayers.
Your money.
Yeah,
okay, what happened to the $100 billion that Ukraine haven't got yet that Biden supposedly sent over?
So have you noticed that?
Okay.
Have you?
Okay. Wait, Wes. Let me explain to the trucker how it really works with the Europe and all them other war things, since I did 9 years in the military. The money that's delegated for other countries, they sit at the Pentagon. So the money never leaves the United States. So Ukraine can literally call and say, hey, I need a jet, or I need a tank, or I need something, ammo. Whatever they need comes out of that fund. And then we have it here in the US, right? So if they say they need a jet, if we don't have the jet already here in the US to send to Ukraine for them to use, we build it here in the US, and the money that comes out to build that jet comes out of that funding that's already at the Pentagon, and then we send it over to Ukraine. Now, the way that US makes money off of the Europe wars, because I did 9 years in the military, I clearly saw everything, is now, say that Saudi Arabia saw that jet that we sent to Ukraine, right? And so now they're saying, oh, we need 2 or 3 of those. Now they are going to hit up the US because it's manufactured here in the United States. So now they got to pay the United States money for those jets. So then we can send it to them.
So listen.
Let me finish my point originally.
He still ain't answered the question. Where's the money?
Let me finish my point originally. Check it out. Hey, at least Donald Trump is honest about taking Gaza, right? The Biden administration was like trying to play both sides. They're like, hey, there's a red line, you don't cross it. Israel was like, hop over that shit. And America kept letting it go. They watched all the people starve. But Joe Biden, he sat there and watched. He was letting them take it. He was just acting like he was giving. He was like, hey, we're going to let them take your homeland, but we're going to give you some humanitarian aid. You know, Donald Trump's like, hey, we taking it. At least he's honest about it.
Let me answer both of those two things real quick. I'm gonna answer Dante's question real quick. The other 100 million, I looked into that too, because I was like, okay, I heard 100 billion. That's my bad. Other 100 billion that he's talking about, it was never meant as cash. We all know that it was always talked about as weapons. I mean, some of it was going to be a little bit of cash because to help fund their government for a little while, because when you're at war and you're losing a third of your population, there's going to be a lot of gaps in your budget. So a little bit of it was used as cash, but the rest of it was weapons that we were going to basically buy from ourselves and give to them. I mean, we're giving you this money, but you're buying weapons from us, old stockpile weapons to give to you. We just have not released those weapons fully yet. That's all there is to it.
We need to see Hunter's bank account.
Hunter
ain't got no money.
But on top of that, though, when DMAC is saying about Gaza, when you look at Gaza, I mean, yeah, the Biden administration pretty much opened the floodgates to saying, go, here's the weapons, go ahead and attack Gaza. They did that. And I'm against that 100% in full. But they, oh yeah, definitely. I'm not ever
when it was happening, you liberals.
Yeah, we go back and look at all we did so many episodes against the Gaza. Come on, bro. We got hundreds of those episodes against Gaza where we talked about where we looked at this was a 60,000 people dead over in Gaza. We talked about this. You think I'm ever going to be for somebody hurting the people who are less fortunate? That's not me. I couldn't be for that.
That was under the Biden administration.
Absolutely, is under the Biden administration. But you got to understand, if you go back and look at the old Shah of Iran, he spoke on this in the 1960s, 1970s, where he said that the Israelis ran our government. It's the fact. It's facts. What's the name of the AIPAC? Come on, man. We act like we don't know who runs our government. There's nothing that our government at that point in time when they attacked, it was within an election year. AIPAC spent $25 million to get rid of a Congress member in a primary in New York. Another $15 million.
No, they did it in Oregon. Yeah, they did in Oregon.
They did one in New York. They did one in Oregon, and they did another $15 million for St. Louis. This is in a primary for a Congress member. This is not a senator. This is not a president. This is unprecedented money because they got that to spend. We act like we don't know. Nobody was going to step in their path. That's why you look at what you know who's really bought off the AIPAC. Look at Trump. He gave them Jerusalem. He killed Suleiman over in Iraq. We don't, and now he's about to give you Gaza. Here, we want all these people to leave so that the people of the world can occupy Gaza. Pay attention. I'm not saying Biden wasn't wrong for what they did, but they opened the door when they went and killed 1,200 Israelis. A door was open for them to go in and do what they had to go do in Gaza. I mean, you can't take that away. Just like D-Mac said a long time ago, you can't tell me how to react to something that you did to me. So I can't tell Israel to, hey, stop killing all these people when you went in and killed 1,200 of theirs, kidnapped another 300 and some people. There's a, that's like how a person going to tell you how to react to somebody do something to your family.
Well, I mean, that's why they all left the ICC, and that kind of makes me nervous for America to leave because we've been
not a part of the ICC though. You got to remember that because we don't allow them to ever step on our. We know we commit war crimes over here. We're not about to be a part of somewhere where you can snatch up one of our people and put us in jail behind us committing all kinds of atrocities that we commit in this country all the time. We know we've been doing this for a long time. We look at our record in South America and Central America. How many presidents we've killed? Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say anyone's any better, but what I look at is policy, man. I don't see any policies that Donald Trump is putting into play right now that are for the people. He's taking away. All this, US aid, he's doing that. You're hurting people who are poor across the world with taking away USAID. In the Department of Education, you're hurting states that are red states that are already last in education outcomes in this country. You're not helping anyone. He tried to stop Medicaid, man. You saw that when he cut off Medicaid. When they tried to do the government freeze, that went towards Medicaid. That went towards kids in school who are getting free lunch. Those are the poorest among us. How is this helping us as a country? What has he done to help us as a country in this 20-something days? I could tell you what he's done to harm us. That's what I'm asking y'all. You know what I mean? What are you guys like, hey, this is an achievement that we're proud of, that is not taking away something from someone else. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying it has to be a perfect thing. Sometimes you take away something from somebody, maybe it does make you happy. You know what I mean? Maybe it's something that makes you feel better, but I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what is his policy stances, or what is he doing right now that is actually helping the American people, especially people who voted for him.
I talked to I was on Facebook. I told Wes about this, and I told the group, and they were talking about how $50 million worth of funds hasn't been delivered to Washington State, right? And so this one guy, he's in the comments, and he's like good. He's like, you shouldn't be paying these bureaucrats and this and this and that. And he was like, good. I hope that money never comes. So anyways, I click on his Facebook post, and he's a diver. You know what I'm saying? And what he likes to do is dive. He takes his son diving with him. I mean, that was his whole Facebook, right? So I go on there and I just opened up the article. And so it's saying the $50 million federal grant to Washington Department of Ecology remained in doubt late Tuesday. It's like halting projects on water quality, shoreline restoration, and toxic site cleanup. And so, I screenshot it, circled it, and sent it to him. I was like, bro, you happy about this money not coming? I was like, that's going to stop you from enjoying your life. See, people think like they're going to do all this crazy stuff to the government and our lives are just going to be normal. You're going to go home and watch Jeopardy and eat Hamburger Helper and watch the world crumble. But you have to understand there's so many things that go on in the government that we don't know about, and they want to get rid of everyone about it. It's going to deteriorate our safety. It may not affect you, but when you go somewhere, you be like, hey, man, why is the store all empty? Hey, well, nobody can afford to come here anymore. Why are these homes boarded up? Well, nobody can afford to live here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Why is there so much crime? Be like, because people don't have the safety nets anymore, so they're committing crimes to do things. You know what I'm saying? It's not about and that's the whole thing. A lot of people that you vote and you be like, okay, it's about me, but you have to realize what all this the federal government does for us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about the people who are going to lose their jobs in the federal government, and how is that going to affect other industries? Think about it. You guys are both business owners. You know what I'm saying? Like from Chad and Dante. You know what I mean? My too. All of me. I mean, so how do you think that's going to affect us when you have less people who are able to pay for things? The government pays a good wage. Most times they're going to pay their employees a good wage. These are the same people who are, buying roofs for their houses, paying for plumbing projects, paying for new kitchens, doing things that kind of keep the economy moving. When you start getting rid of those jobs, where are they going to go find work at? You know what I mean? Like, do we not need Department of Education? Why not? Tell me why not. I would like to know. I'm just wondering what you guys' take on that is.
I mean, there's lots of issues with it. I mean, look at we're like one of the last nations out there with education. I mean, we spend more than anybody.
I mean, so do you think? Do you
Cam,
think
do you have any kids with like an IEP or that are from that go to school that's far, a little bit further than the distance is that you technically could go to school for?
No.
Well, do you know that the Department of Education doesn't do anything with the curriculum, right? Of what they teach the kids in school. You know that, right?
I don't know that. I'm gonna be real. I don't know that. Keep going.
So the Department of Education does not make curriculums. The states make curriculums for the schools in the states. That's how the curriculums are made. The Department of Education is just to help with the funding of whatever the schools need. So like the levy, it helps pay the teacher salaries in red states because the red states don't make enough money to pay their teachers.
That's factual.
And then on top of that, special ed is funded through the Department of Education. So the special ed teachers are having their salaries also met. And they can assist the teachers at the schools with the special ed students, especially the kids with IEPs. Now there's also the farmers are with the Department of Education because they're the ones that literally are doing the crops and stuff so the kids can get food in school. So the money that the farmers get comes from the Department of Education.
Yeah.
And now
did you just say the
screwed.
money that the farmers get comes from the Department of Education?
What she's saying is like as far as like the school lunches, school lunches and stuff like that. Like no, she's talking about school lunches and stuff like that.
Because the farmers grow the crops so the kids can get food at schools. So they get part of the money also from the Department of Education, so they can keep food in the schools for these children. Okay.
You know what's crazy though? I mean, like they were trying to get rid of free lunches, which I think lunch should be free for kids. It should be nutritious. It should be fresh food. That's just my thoughts because I remember going to school with kids that didn't have lunch. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, a lot of kids do get free lunch. So when they get rid of that, I mean, that may not affect us. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, think about like if you have a young cousin or a child and they're at school and you got a friend and he's just sitting there every day. Everyone else is eating. He's just sitting there watching and be like, yo, I don't
think they will ever get rid of free lunches though.
But that was a part of the program when they were doing the freeze. That was what they were going to get rid of.
Yeah,
that was part of that. Section 8 was part of that. All that.
It freezes
everything.
Let me ask you guys: did it happen? Is it in effect? Is it in effect?
It's because a judge blocked it. It's because a judge blocked it. But he's going back around. He dropped it. Then after the judge blocked it, he dropped it. Then they're going back around to figure out how they can get it done to subvert what the judge is doing. And what they're going to end up doing, what happens in this process is they're going to take it to federal judges, and then they're going to have to end up taking it to who? The Supreme Court. And we know where the Supreme Court sits.
Let me ask y'all this question.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's happening? Why do you think that they're trying to take away Section 8 free lunches and things of that nature?
Abuse. I think Section 8
because they're rich and they can afford it, and they say it's a handout.
I want to hear your opinion.
I can tell you, Section 8. I believe Section 8. You should only be allowed to be on that for 5 years. I mean, a lot of people get Section 8 and they stay on it for the rest of their lives. I think you should only be on Section 8 for 5 years. That gives you enough time to get a good job, go to school, and get a degree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't believe people should be able to. And I mean, to them, they look at food stamps, they think it's a problem, right? But let's look at the real problem. I worked at Walmart once. And Walmart only pays you so much money. And then the rest of their stuff, everyone at Walmart has to go work and go get food stamps. And so Walmart gets a tax break from the government for subsidizing their employees like that. A lot of places do it. Safeway does it. Kroger does it. A lot of them do it. So a lot of these people, they work. Think about it. I mean, and people can tell you, $18, $20 is not enough to live off. A lot of these people, a lot of Americans, people don't realize, like, I'll say about 60% of Americans are on food stamps or some kind of subsidy. So when you take that away from everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to cause more crime. People are going to start.
My thing is I don't see them taking it away. From what I read, what they're doing is you're going to have to, there's going to be criteria. You're going to have to work 30 plus hours a week in order to be eligible for these programs.
Well, I mean, like if you're on disability, you can only work 20.
Guess what? I'm gonna literally debunk what you just said in 2.5 seconds. What's the federal minimum wage?
$7.25.
Good job. You could do some math. So, did you know that a family of two that live in Washington, if you have a family of two, so if me and my daughter, if I try to get on food stamps, I can't go on food stamps because our minimum wage here in Washington state is too damn high.
That's correct. $7.25. Who can live off that? Think about it. You work at McDonald's and that was your pay, right?
It's a federal thing, though.
You can't.
It's a federal thing. So they go off of the federal minimum wage. So because our Washington state minimum wage is $15 an hour, I can only make $2,300 a month to qualify for food stamps.
He's Donald Trump is trying to raise the minimum wage.
No.
They won't allow it.
Where's the executive order, my dog? Where's the executive order? Because everything he's done is literally to fire everybody in the United States. That's why we have so many plane crashes and plane accidents, is because he literally fired air traffic control. My cousin lost her job because she worked for TSA. There's no TSA. There's no air traffic controls.
I mean, right. I think right now they're having they're doing a lot of freezes on these different programs too, like to stop them from being able to, to get rid of these.
How about you? Have you guys ever thought and took the concept to believe that half of the things that he's trying to stop and interrupt is because there was loopholes that was being taken advantage of through the old administration and these federal programs that the rich people was stealing? Like, people stealing from this, man. Like, let's put a freeze on it. Let's find out where the damn rats and the worms is at, and let's get it right.
I don't think that's what his
I think that's
because
I don't think they're trying to stop anything to say, you know what, you don't deserve this, like, or nothing like that. I think what it is that the federal government has been abusing these programs for so long.
And Trucker, you still never answer my question. What is Elon Musk's federal job?
You never answer my question. So you never answer my question.
I asked you what $100.
Hey, let's calm down. Let's one at a time.
I asked you what $100 billion is.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell his job is.
Hey, let's one at a time.
I done muted both of y'all. Y'all gonna get loud. I'm gonna have to take y'all out. All right. Let's keep it civil. Let's be nice.
D-Mac.
Yeah.
I want you to play the clip of Kamala on 60 Minutes that they leaked, brother. If you can find it.
I mean, we're talking about Kamala right now. Hold on. We talk about Kamala, but who's in office right now? That's what we really have to look at.
I want to talk about the person that you voted for.
Hey, Kamala Harris, they're like, Kamala save us. They said, Kamala save us. She's like, I've been home for 2 weeks. What do you want me to do?
She didn't win the election, so what is she supposed to do? She's a private citizen just like us. What is she gonna do? What can she do?
I just want to play the clip of the person who y'all voted for.
Well, hold on. Which clip is? You're gonna have to find it because there's a whole bunch of clips.
And I also don't really feel like, you know what I'm saying, when we're sitting back like thinking that he has a plan that's a plan to fix something. He's not trying to fix anything. He's trying to get rid of the people who are there.
Choice? Who was the better
Kamala
choice?
Harris. Kamala Harris. Definitely Kamala Harris.
Play the clip, D-Mac.
It doesn't matter. A clip. We can leak footage of Trump saying some of the worst possible things and doing some of the worst things you can possibly do. But we don't have. It doesn't matter.
She was not fit.
It doesn't matter.
She wasn't fit.
Listen, it does not matter. My personal belief is Kamala Harris is 10 times smarter than Donald Trump. That's a my personal opinion.
At the end of the day, right? They should have never. America's not ready to have a woman president. We've seen that with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was white, blonde, and was married to a former president and was overqualified,
and she still didn't get in.
Yeah, and so y'all thought Miss Wig, short hair Curry was going to pull it off. No, it's not going to happen. America doesn't want it.
Hey, man, yo, enjoy stuff you be saying about people who look like. I'm about to start paying attention to what you be saying, brother. I don't know what's up.
He look good. He look good for
her. She look good. He's tripping. He's talking, man. I don't know. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know. D-Mac might have some.
Ugly.
You know what I'm talking about, brother.
But D-Mac, you make sense, my brother. You make sense. She wasn't. I'll be honest with you. If they would have vetted the right candidate, or just let Joe Biden do his thing, I probably would have voted for Joe again.
If Joe would have never done that, the debate, like Donald Trump didn't want to do it.
I probably would have voted for Joe again.
I would. Yeah,
the way they pulled
the
stunt. Listen, the way they pulled the stunt and try to put a mask over my face, I said I'm not having it.
You wasn't voting for Joe again. I would have voted for Joe because I would have had to at the end of the day. But Joe's administration
pulled the stunt that they pulled with Kamala,
Joe's administration was a strong administration. But all I'm saying is you sitting back and you acting like. Let me finish. I mean, we acting like he has an alternative plan, but he has never had an alternative plan. What did he say about healthcare? We have something of a plan. He said we have what is it called? A concept of a plan. He doesn't have a plan to fix any of this stuff, man, because he don't care. What this is about he thinks that if I'm gonna cut government spending, it's gonna come from you. It ain't coming from us. It's coming from y'all, the people who voted for me, coming out of y'all pockets, because that's who he's trying to hurt. Everybody who voted for him, we all know these are the people who are less fortunate in the United States. Not everybody, you know what I'm saying? Overall, overwhelmingly, people who voted for Donald Trump, less educated, overwhelmingly, not everybody. Lower on the income scale, overwhelmingly, not everybody, but that's what it is. It's a factual matter here. You know what I'm saying? So those are the people who he attacked in everything he's taken off the table. All the government programs going after them. What has he done to replace any of it? He ain't brought no plan to the table. If I'm gonna take something from you, I'm gonna give you something before I take it, or I'm gonna improve upon what's there.
But you're talking about what he has done and what he hasn't done. And he's only 21 days in.
So if I take something from you, if I say, here, give me your food stamps, and you have no food, what you gonna do until I do something else?
Why are you speaking like this man been in office for 2-3 years already?
Look what he's done. He took away Dr. Martin Luther King Day out of the military. That's no longer here. You can't. There's Black History Month out of here. He came after what he wanted to come after immediately. If he had any other plans, he would have brought them to the table. If it's
Black History Month is every day of the year, sir.
Stop it, man. Yeah, of course it is. But let's be real. In school, did you learn it every day of the year? I'm talking school. Black History Month is not for us adults. We're adults now. It's for kids in school. We know how we got taught in school. We got taught about Christopher Columbus, which was not true. We got taught that pretty much all our whole history
I ain't never
was slavery.
Got taught nothing about Black History Month when I was in school.
No, they taught you.
I got taught Black History Month when I was in school. I mean, it's like let's be real. They taught. That's what they really taught us
maybe
about.
Talked about Martin. But they ain't never taught. They don't teach Black History Month in school.
Nobody. Yeah, they teach it in school, but they're not giving an in-depth teaching of it in school. We're going to be honest, because that's that tell us why we need it even more.
No,
because they're not telling us anything.
As Black folks, what we need to do is
we can have.
We need our own curriculum and make our own books and teach our own kids. Because the school's not. Look, the school teach it, and the Black History Month teach about Martin Luther King all day, kicking that ass.
And you know how we do that.
His last speech.
You know how we do that. I want to speak to Wesley and Mrs. Military. You know how we do that? We take that 170 billion, and you give us, our payment day.
I'm gonna type this. You don't even believe in that because who are you going after? Who would you vote for? They're really not giving up
170 billion.
Are you talking about reparations?
Yeah,
but you can't give Black people reparations, whatever.
Can we do both? No, let's stop that. Let's stop that right there, man. That's like saying USAID, that should have been Black people reparations. No, we can do both. We can chew gum and walk at the same time. America can do both.
If you can help out another country, why can't you help out the ones that built the country?
Hold up. What I'm saying is, you think I'm against either or? We don't have to choose. We got to stop acting like, I think you're on mute. But you got to act like we cannot do both. We can do both. You know what I mean? We have a huge budget.
America
you don't have to choose one or the other. We got to stop looking at it like
we have a huge budget. If you can send 170 billion in aid to another country, why can't you give reparations to the black folks?
Because you should ask Republicans people who you voted for that question. You should ask people who you voted for.
Why would you give money to your entertainment? You know what I'm saying? In America, they kill, lock up, and enjoy what we do.
Again, D-Mac.
I'm saying, why would you give all that money to your entertainment?
To your entertainment.
To your entertainment.
What state has passed? But took it away. What state has passed reparations?
In California, and then they took it away.
But they're the first state to have passed a law stating that there will be reparations to be paid to their people. They're one of the first states to give back land. I'm not saying they did. I'm not saying they did it. I understand. I know they took it. All I'm saying is it's progress towards something that we all been talking about. We know who ain't voting for that.
That's more.
Who never gonna vote for that.
That's more of a pump fake.
Republicans. But you know what I mean. But the fact of the matter is, wait till the next administration, and we'll see what happens.
There's no more administrations. There's nothing after this.
I'm not talking about presidency. I'm talking about California. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about. Once it's on the books, once it's been done, it can be done again. That's all I'm saying.
Articulate what you mean. There's nothing after this.
He's not leaving office.
You don't think so?
No, I told everybody that from the get. If he got elected, he's gonna be the last president we ever have.
I guarantee that's cap.
He's not leaving. What's the point of leaving? They're already trying to pass laws to keep him in there for another 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And like, even if he doesn't, he's like, I ain't leaving. What are you gonna do? Think about it. If you replace everybody in the federal government, everybody that works around you, Secret Service, FBI,
military,
with loyalists to him, who gonna make me leave? What country is gonna come in here and pull him out of power? Nobody. It's America.
I can't go with that, man.
If half the population is voting for you, and a lot of them don't, I mean, you gotta look at half.
It wasn't even half.
I know, but you know,
150 million people that are registered to vote in America. Only 140. I mean, not even half the population voted. I know they're kicking themselves now. I saw the video of the one guy. He was like, "Hey, my wife just got
deported." If you got 30 million people who are willing to go and fight for you, even out of the 75 million who voted for him, even 30 million are willing, or 20 million are willing to fight. That's a hell of an army to have right there. And we know who's willing to vote for him. The same people went to Cincinnati just a couple days ago and was on that bridge with their mask on. The Nazis.
But you see,
what I'm saying? We see who his party is. We see
the video of the black folks rush him.
Let me say this too. At the same time, they just went after and kicked out all these immigrants from these different countries. Was it Mexico, Venezuela, Haiti, all these other people? I think they kicked out some Filipinos. But what did he say as soon as he saw there was any kind of a problem in South Africa for the South African whites? What did he want to do? He tried to make a law. He wanted to cut off aid to South Africa and say, we want to bring those farmers here whose grandfathers and great grandfathers and whoever else stole land from the South Africans. When the South Africans said, I want my land back, we want to bring them here and we want to cut off aid, and we may do more. Who do you think he wants here, man? He don't want us, because what did he tell? As soon as he started deporting people, what did he say? And I also want to send prisoners out the country, people who commit crimes in this country, American citizens, to other countries to be held in El Salvadorian prisons, and we may take away their citizenship. Who do you think he's talking about? All prisoners? They weren't talking about that when they had vagrancy laws back when after they got rid of slavery. When they got rid of slavery, but they said, you know what? In the Constitution, it says slavery is abolished except for as punishment for a crime. So what did the South do? Create vagrancy laws so that anyone who was not working could be put in jail. And in jail, you can be used as a slave. So what they do to black people? Don't give them jobs. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, didn't give them jobs, put them back in jail. Now you're a slave again. Now I'm going to take away your right to vote and own firearms. We both know what they did. They over-police our community. He's been doing it for a very long time. Who do you think he's talking about? This is just another way for him to get out who he can't get out. The other undesirables who he don't want here. Us. That's the next step. I mean, but brother, I get it. You know what I'm saying? This is who you voted for,
man. You have every right to it, man.
And it just leads to the fact of the matter. First, you kick the people out who you can kick out, the immigrants, even the ones who are here actually under asylum. the right way. They did the
committed
right
a
thing.
crime.
No, they did not commit a crime. No, they did not commit a crime. You can come to this country. They were going to their what's it called? Their immigration hearings. They were going to the meeting with their immigration officers. Like, hey, you got to come back because it takes 6 to 8 years in this country. That's why Joe Biden had a bill on the table to get more immigration judges. The whole thing set up with the Republicans. A deal was on the table to be passed. Everyone agreed upon it.
Yeah,
Trump
but at
came
the
in
end
and
of the
said,
day, immigrants can't vote. So, I mean, it's what it is. They all got to go.
I mean, I don't know about that. That's
not all of them.
That's
not all of them. I mean, that's their thinking. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, look, let's make a gentleman's bet. I'll bet you $10 that at the end of 4 years, he's not leaving. He's gonna be like, you know what?
I'll take that bet.
I'll bet $10, gentleman's bet.
You will vote for him again. You will vote for him again if they made a law to say that he could run again. You will vote for him again, won't you? Cuz
no,
there's no more.
If I vote, I'm gonna vote for the best candidate.
And I don't think he was the best candidate, man. Look what he's doing. He's done nothing to help the people.
Roll the tape, D-Mac.
You know what's crazy about Kamala? They didn't have a primary. So the American people didn't get to pick her. They lied to everybody about Joe Biden. They waited too long to try to prosecute Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? They did like, you ever watch if you watch Game of Thrones, you know what I'm saying? You watch the show and like the person you like the most, they died. Like in the 3rd season. You're like, damn, I like that person. But then you go back and you think about it. Well, you know, they did this, they did that, they did this. You can see where they messed up at. The Democrats show that they're a weak party. They only care about their money. You know what I'm saying? Their money, migrants, and the LGBTQ.
I disagree. I disagree with that. I look at the policies show you who they care about.
Oh my God, what policies, bro?
Man, look at what they did for child tax credits. You know, what that's going to come back again. What do they do black people? Yeah, man. When you do anything with education, we do anything for healthcare. I'm not trying to say there's any for everybody. No. But when you do these things, who does it help the most? The poorest among you. And right now, black people, when it comes to household wealth, are the poorest on the totem pole. I believe they should do something directly for us too. I believe that we need to hold their feet to the fire in the next election. Like, hold up, bro. This is what we're not just voting for you out of fear that we don't want this to be going on anymore, because this is not good for us. Period. I don't see how any of us can look at this and say this is good for us, because they're attacking even with DEI. When they got rid of all the DEI departments, you think a lot of black women and black people in general were not working in those departments? Those are good government jobs that we lost. A lot of white women too. Don't get me wrong.
Black folks at the bottom of the totem pole anytime it comes to anything in America. That DEI stuff wasn't even for us. It didn't even make no sense. I was like, wait, we had affirmative action. Why are they trying to use DEI? That was for women, disabled people, veterans, and and old people and shit. That's who it was for. And then it's like, DEI also they put ramps up there. Think about it, bro. Black folks, we've been getting shitted on in this country since the inception. No matter what we do for these people, no matter what we do,
somebody get the fire hose and put this nigga D-Mac out here.
Real shit though. Think about it. Look, no matter what we do, we saved America in the Civil War, right? We saved them. That's the whole thing. We saved them. Every war we ever fought in the conception, we've been saving the Democrats in all these elections. The first one, we were like, people were like, yeah, fuck that. Let everybody else feel how we're feeling. So now everybody that don't fuck with Donald Trump is a nigga. So welcome to the party, homie. We've been at the bottom, bro. We came from nothing and made fucking swine food delicacy. You know what I'm saying? We're the coolest people in the world.
And the fact that most brothers like myself is tired of the Democrats crip walking on my back. And I said, enough is enough. You want to bring it up and you want to talk down to me, like I'm a nigga on a porch, like I'm an Uncle Tom. No, I'm tired of them crip walking on my back, bro.
Think about it. We've been asking for a hate crime bill for years, right?
For years.
They're like, hey, we'll give you a lynching bill, but like, you don't even call it lynching no more.
They passed the bill for them Chinese people.
They sure did. They sure did, real quick too.
Oh, that was your administration. That was your administration, Wesley.
I left a bad taste in my mouth.
Let me say this right here, man. I disagree. I disagree in full. I disagree in full. This is what I'm actually going to say right here about the situation. You look at what Democrats have put forth as far as agendas. Everyone shows you who they are with the first bills and first laws they place in front of you. Barack Obama's first laws was a rescue plan for the economy because we needed that. Then he came with health care law. He really wanted to do a universal, but he couldn't get that passed. He knew he didn't have the votes. Joe Biden came in, he started putting in things in place because of COVID. But then after that, he started putting in things for, I think it was a family law. Basically, he was trying to push and get it to where they could have universal child care for children. He pushed child tax credit, making sure the child tax credits were higher for American families. This is what we did. He put laws in place, infrastructure bills that help build up America, put American workers back to work, put in a CHIPS Act, which helped build factories here. Will put America. I've gone to the factories, the TSMC factories in Arizona that have that employ thousands of workers. This is the stuff they put in place. What is Trump putting in place? I'm gonna put a tax cut in place that's gonna benefit mostly benefit the 1% and barely give anybody else anything. People say I got a tax cut, but did you pay it back when all of his all the money that he spent in the federal government rose interest rates? I mean, not rose. I'm sorry, rose inflation. Did you get it back then? Did he get? They took the money back with inflation. That's where the money came back from for your tax cuts. All the little $1,000 you may have got over the whatever years, inflation went ahead and took all that back.
And I'm saying
like all the money that he spent.
As black folks, I'm tired of having to be like this the whole time. You know what I'm saying? In America, all we're doing is, hey man, yeah, way to go. Hey, you got the rights. All right, man, I'll be down here. Don't worry, we got you. Yeah. Oh, you next? The Asian community. There you go. All we're doing is keep lifting everybody up, and they've been shitting on us. You know what I'm saying? That DEI stuff was not for us. Look, affirmative action was for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The Civil Rights Act is for everybody. There's not one bill you can name specifically that is for African Americans. Specifically. Now you can say, look, the Asians got a hate crime bill. Donald Trump he's like, look, all my billionaire homies that help me out, I got you. I'm gonna put you in places of power. He's like, all my voters, people, I'm gonna give you all these jobs. He takes care of the people to look out for him. The Democrats have failed the black community over and over again. And now, and I said this before, I'm like, you guys better do right by us, or we're not going to vote for Joe Biden, and we're going to let Donald Trump finish off this country.
Let me ask you this. So are we saying conditions have, because I understand we do need things that are directed towards us, but a lot of those bills were directed towards us. Like, even like civil rights bills, they were built for us, but everyone was able to take part in it. Yeah, I mean, I do believe we do need reparations for black people. I believe that's the biggest thing they could do for black people. Okay, aside from all that, I look at things as the conditions. Are the conditions met for us to be able to be more successful? Because that's what this country is going to do. If anything, that's what government's supposed to do. Make the conditions for people to be able to rise up on their own. That's what government's supposed to do. That's my personal opinion. I don't think that they're ever going to say here, and they've done it for other people. Don't get me wrong. They've had farm bills and all kinds of stuff, and all kinds of land grants and everything they've given to their people. We know that for a fact. Everyone knows that. That's a fact. That's how most of them got their wealth and built up their wealth were through these programs that we didn't have any part in. They wouldn't even give us a part in those. Or redlined us out. Exactly. That's why this is why Democrats have been for putting the conditions in place to help people.
Democrats has not been for putting Democrats has been for keeping the niggas down, depending on them, so they they can never come up.
How so?
It's built in the Constitution. Like
Section 8. All these.
You think those things are? You think those things are meant to keep you down, or think that some people just utilize them to keep themselves in a situation?
Why it's meant to keep? Because guess what? And just like I know. In most niggas' mindset, if I could get it for free.
So that's a personal thing. That's a conditioned person thing. That's not like I'm doing this so that you feel this way. If you can, and most people, in a lot of people's minds, you utilize things in order to build yourself up. Am I wrong?
If they keep giving it to you for free, you're not going to want to elevate. You're not going to.
I look at it like that. If they giving a person $400 or $500 a month and like not even food assistance, but in welfare,
your rent zero.
That's no money. That's no money. That's a person who does not have any.
But what if your rent is zero?
$400 a month still though?
What if your rent is zero though?
Okay, let's say this.
That's just a lot of people never grew up in life. So
that's why
they're okay with living like that.
$400. That's what I'm saying to
them. It's like living in high school. You have all that freedom to do what you want, and you get this little bit of money to go live your life.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I'm okay with paying them that because they're gonna be in your window if you don't. If you don't pay a person who thinks that $400 is enough money for him to be cool and rent is zero, and but $400 extra besides rent, and he ain't got to pay no other bills, he's good with that for a whole month, but he got food stamps too. That's no money. You can't even, that's not even a life. You can't even live doing that because it's only going to go until your kids are 18. Then you're not getting that anymore. We both know that. You don't just get that just because. You got to have children in the home. Period. They're not giving single parent or people who don't have kids Section 8. You ain't getting that. That's not for those people. They got to have a kid. As soon as that kid's 18, you flat on your back. Period. So I'm not mad about giving them that because I know that person right there, if you got that kind of mentality, you're going to be robbing and stealing in no time. And I'd rather pay them that and get them out the way than have them in my back door where I got to do something to somebody because I'm got to defend my life. That's no money. $400 to give you, because we give corporations way more money. That corporations like Amazon don't pay any taxes at all. Elon Musk don't pay any taxes at all into the federal government. But they want to tell us where to send our money to, and we subsidize their businesses all the time. We give them billions of dollars to run their businesses, but we act like they're such great business people. Come on, man. Let's stop that, man. That's the truth. That's factual. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So who are we mad at?
Hold on.
You mad at a single mom who needs food stamps to support her kids? Because I just paid $350 for some food and I barely got anything. $350.
No, you shop at one place
for me.
You got to shop around. You got to shop around.
Brother, I'm just saying. I
can make $300.
And nobody told you to go to Whole Foods. You should have took your tail to Aldi's.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell everybody where you shop at.
You gonna spend $350 too.
You leave. You're gonna leave with a pack of hot dogs, maybe some buns, and you're gonna owe them $3.
You know, I'm just saying, wherever y'all shop at right now for your food, it's exorbitant. We all know that's to be real. It's high, period, across the board.
No. That's due to the Biden administration, inflation.
Man, no, okay. Do you know inflation comes from government overspending? That's what inflation comes from. So when Biden got in office, inflation started hitting. I mean, that was inflation from Bush, Obama, and Trump. Trump was the biggest reason. No, that's a fact. Inflation, that's like it's government spending. It's like printing money that you're putting into the economy. That's why he wants low interest rates. It's a bad idea right now, because you start putting when you start giving banks zero. Basically, the Federal Reserve is lending money to banks at almost 0% interest. They're like, shit, here's free money. Go lend it out because we needed that because the economy was messed up under Bush. So they started giving them money basically at zero. So they started putting out loans to people at really low interest rates. So is that much money going into the economy? It's not good for the economy because everyone can buy stuff. You know, that's what drove the price of homes up. That's what drove the price of everything up at the time. When as soon as COVID hit, they start giving everybody money. What happened to the price of handbags and everything else? As you know, it went through the roof because at the end, everybody could buy it. That's why. You know what I mean? I remember they were talking about during COVID, you couldn't even find bikes on bike shelves in Walmart because everybody had money to go buy a bike. That's kind of what that is. But the point of it is, though, you know what I'm saying? We got to remember inflation,
exercise equipment. People are remodeling their homes because you're stuck at home. You had to do something.
And they had money, and everybody was giving free money at that point in time, whether they took it or whether they got it. You know what I mean? Like however it came, they got free money at the time. But that inflation had to be paid back. Period. And that's why when we talk about tax cuts, it's going to rise. It's going to break. I mean, tax cuts without adjacent spending cuts. You know what he's trying to do right now? Make adjacent spending cuts off the backs of the American people. Because he didn't do it the first time, which drove the deficit up through the roof when he came in office. That's why I was telling you about this before. Same thing Trump did. Trump comes in with no plan and just does things. And we act like, well, let's wait to see what happens. Who do you know is going to wait to see if I take something from you, I'm going to wait to see what you give me back? Like, okay, I'm going to wait and see what you give me back later. If I ain't got nothing, if I ain't got no money coming in, I'm going to wait to see what you give me back later. These are the poorest among them. Most people don't even have $1,000 in their bank account to be able to, you know what I'm saying, to wait on something like that. But we want to wait and see what he's going to give them back. The concept of a plan, like he told y'all before, after how many, 8 years, he got a concept of a plan for healthcare. After 8 years.
Well, I mean, if you tell people you might have healthcare and you take theirs away, everyone will be too sick to argue with you anyways. So, you know, it is what it is. But I think I'm going to end it here at that note. Thank you all for joining us here on the town hall. Do you guys have any shout outs you want to send to anybody?
I want to send a shout out to my president, Donald Trump. 45, 47.
Nah, I ain't got no shots. I'm hoping that the Eagles win today, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and rub our hands together like Bird, man. I hope the Eagles pull this one off today. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and put some prayers out in the atmosphere for this to happen.
You put money on the game. That's why you asking for that. That's the only prayers up in the air.
You know what I mean? Let's hope we pull this one off today, man. I just think they're gonna win. I ain't that I want Patrick Mahomes to lose, is that I just think they got a better team this year in order to win.
I don't want Patrick Mahomes to three-peat.
Saquon. That's why I thought too. Saquon.
He's
you know what I mean? That's what I think too. If they can keep the game close, they can get and keep him in the game with just being able to hand the ball off. They can make it happen. They can run away with that. But we'll see what happens though. We
Yeah.
appreciate you, my. And you came in with a whole lot of gusto today. And you know what I mean? You said she been waiting on you to come back into the she been waiting on you, trucker.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
You can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Yeah, it must be your headphones. We can't hear you.
Hey, but she been waiting on you, bro. She was talking about last week. She's like, I was hoping your cousin was gonna be
Well,
here.
the thing of the matter is, she never answers any questions.
Nah, we still can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
I don't know what
It's
you did.
okay. But look,
It's a sign. It's a sign. She don't answer no questions. That's why she can't. That's why we can't hear her, because she never answers any questions.
Anyways, all right, we're gonna see everybody next week.
It's good to see you.
Next Sunday. All right, we're gonna see y'all. Have a good one.
All right, peace out.
All right, thank you for dropping in, cuz.